Okay, so in this video I'm going to go over some of the structures you need to know for the spinal cord unit. Okay, so cervical nerves are the 8 pairs of nerves in the neck area. Thoracic are the 12 pairs in the thorax area. Okay, lumbar in the lower back area, and then sacral nerves are the 5 pairs where the sacrum bone is, and then coccygeal would be where the coccyx bone is, so at like the very end here. Okay, the plexuses are specific areas that innervate certain parts of the body. So you'd have the cervical plexus. This here is showing the brachial plexus. There's no thoracic plexus. So lumbar plexus, and then this one here is showing the sacral plexus. Okay. Some specific nerves you need to know. The phrenic nerve, that supplies the diaphragm. So you can't really see it well in this model. So it'd probably be a picture if I were to show you that one. Radial nerve is going to be on the thumb side. This is showing like the anterior. This is showing the back of the hand, so it would be on this side. But for this one, it is right here, radial nerve, ulnar nerve, and then median nerve in the middle here. Okay. Femoral nerve, so this is showing the leg like pointed out this way, so this would be like the knee here. So this here would be the femoral nerve. Okay. Sciatic nerve is in the back here, so sciatic nerve, and tibial nerve is in the back of the tibia right here, tibial nerve. Okay, this one here. Okay, some specific areas of the spinal cord that you should know. The cervical enlargement is where it starts to like enlarge in the neck area there. This here is just the spinal cord, so it's just asking for the spinal cord in general. If I'm pointing to like a specific nerve here, this here would be a thoracic nerve, okay? As an example. This here is the conus medullaris. Okay, conus medullaris. So this is the end region of like the actual spinal cord, and then it's just like nerves fanning out. So this region where the nerves like kind of fan out like a horse's tail, right, is known as the cauda equina, which literally means horse's tail. Okay, filum terminale is the very end region here. Okay. Now moving on to our SOMSO model here. So again, this is the posterior region, right? Because we could tell by the bone here. Okay, and this is the anterior region. Okay, we could tell by the body of the vertebrae. The spinous process, of course, is posterior. Okay, I can also tell because this here, this is the anterior median fissure. Okay, this like wider opening is on the anterior side, and this here is the posterior median sulcus. Okay, then we have our anterior, lateral, and posterior gray horns. This here is the gray commissure, and also surrounding the central canal. That opening there is the central canal. That's where cerebrospinal fluid will flow through the spinal cord. Okay, and then the white matter, so that's all gray matter. Okay, and then this white matter here has different areas. So we have the white commissure. It's like directly surrounding the outside of this like area here where the gray commissure is. This would be the posterior white columns, lateral white columns, and anterior white columns. Okay. Then we have our meninges. So we have those 3 layers and 3 spaces as well. Okay. So here would be the pia mater. Okay. This space here is the subarachnoid space. It's a large space because you will also have cerebrospinal fluid in that space. Then here we have the arachnoid mater, so this smaller layer here, the arachnoid mater. This space in like orange here, okay, then I'm going through this little groove here, that would be the subdural space. Okay. okay? And then this layer here, this gray layer back here, is the dura mater. And then this layer that has fat within it here, this is the epidural space, okay? Here we have our anterior nerve root, and then this here would be our posterior nerve roots, okay? This here is our posterior root ganglion, so that's where we have neuron cell bodies kind of bunching that area up there. Okay, then we have our rami. So here's our anterior ramus, posterior ramus, and then rami communicantes. Okay, so that's all you really need to know for this model here. And then these two models here, same thing really, right? Our anterior median fissure, posterior median sulcus, okay? Here's our anterior nerve roots, posterior nerve roots. Same thing here, you can see a little bit of the roots, so anterior nerve roots, posterior nerve roots. Here would be our posterior root ganglion, and then they converge into the spinal nerve, okay? We have our central canal, that opening there, okay? And then it's surrounded by gray commissure. Then we have our white commissure above and below, okay? Central canal, gray commissure, white commissure above and below. And then our white matter, okay? So our posterior white columns here and here, anterior white columns here and here, and then lateral white columns here, 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 and here.